Hello, everyone, and welcome back to MLG 2012 Winter Championships in Columbus, Ohio. We're in the middle of a best-of-3 series between MC and CrazyMoving. MC and CrazyMoving are tied 1-1 going into the final game, and CrazyMoving has selected the map of Tal'Darim Altar. This is Group A, play and pool play. We're in the middle of pool play on Saturday, and then Sunday is when the real fun begins. But before that happens, we got Game 3 between MC and CrazyMoving.
Match point here for both of these players. Let's get some introductions rolling for you guys here in the top left-hand corner. The blue Zerg player. We have CrazyMoving. And his opponent cross positions here on MLG Tal'Darim Altar. He is the red Protoss player, MC.
And what do you make of the map choice from the Zerg player here?
This is actually a really curious map choice, to be quite honest. With those third base destructible rocks there, it kind of, well, it not necessarily prevents a fast 3 base being taken by the Zerg. It's just that you have to take it in a more awkward position, a lot further away from your natural expansion. You're not quite as easily you don't really feel as comfortable securing a fast third on this base. So it's interesting. It's a very open map. It's very long. Obviously, one of the biggest maps out there. You want to say he's going to be going for more of a macro play with such a big map like that, but you can never really say. Again, there's so many different metagame things that could be happening. You never truly know.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you brought up a good point. Those third base rocks, obviously it's a little bit harder to get a third as a Zerg player. But yeah, you said it too. The rush distance is so long. So if you're very proactive with your scouting, if you have control of the watchtowers as a Zerg player, as you should have in the early game, you can usually tell when an attack is coming and can usually prepare adequately. Yep. Also, mutas are incredible on this map against Protoss player. You can harass this mineral line, then jump up to harass this mineral line. The stalkers can't, it'll take a long time to get over there. They have to walk all the way around. I mean, you could blink to low ground and blink to the high ground. I think there's one, might be a little sweet spot where you can blink from 1 to 1. But the fact of the matter is very, very difficult to hold off muta play. So I'm wondering, is CrazyMoving a muta type player something else to consider? There's no ramp leading to this. It's pretty expansive here, and it's hard to defend early 2-base play. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, as it looks like CrazyMoving able to get that natural expansion down without too much trouble at all. MC unable to block that from happening, and it looks like a forge is done for MC. Will he try for cannon shenanigans? Looks like he's definitely trying to fake it.
He's going for the 3 pile in, wall in. No, baits that drone back there. And good job by CrazyMoving, just keeping an eye on that probe, moving back and forth properly there. And actually, there we go. See the pylons on the way here, walling off completely. And we'll see a cannon coming up right away as those pylons do, in fact, finish CrazyMoving. It does spot this, though, with the 1 drone. He is not going to send any more drones to try and deter this. He knows he probably won't be able to break it. Actually, he is going to send a couple of drones. He starts a spine crawler immediately. 1 cancel on that pylon. He makes a second cannon, and a second spine goes down. It looks like CrazyMoving's trying to deter that probe from making a 3rd cannon. No, 3rd cannon will, in fact, go up.
Oh, my gosh. I can't believe CrazyMoving didn't keep an eye on this probe. The probe's still alive, trying to get out of there down to, like, very low HP. But 2 cannons are down. Yes, 3 cannons are in production for MC. 1 is going to finish pretty soon. Ling's trying to attack that. Is this going to be enough to hold off these things, to hold off these spine crawlers? And what does MC target? Taking down this Ling. Spine crawler about to finish. 2nd cannon complete. 3rd cannon is on the way, but the Ling's going down for CrazyMoving. Spine crawler is complete. Drone's not participating in the fight. They're going to start dying soon if they're not careful. And now 2 cannons taken out by MC. CrazyMoving is going to hold this cannon rush off.
Wow, fantastic there by CrazyMoving. Realizes I've had 2 spine crawlers, and he gets those Zerglings in there as well to add that extra DPS. Takes those 2 cannons down immediately, and that 3rd cannon didn't really have a chance whatsoever. Is able to secure his hatchery first build there. So MC is going to lose a lot of investment early on in minerals. Just with that early cannon rush, it did in fact fail. Unfortunate for MC, but he knows he had to punish that somehow, because MC himself did not go for a Nexus first. He in fact went for a Forge first, just a little bit safer, and actually CrazyMoving, again, getting a little bit more of an advantage just by killing that 1 scouting probe.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation. Obviously, that cannon rush didn't go as well as MC had planned, but then again, look at the Harvesters. MC way ahead in that regard, 28-22. He's not in a terrible situation.
No.
You know, he was able to force a lot of Lings out of his opponent. You know, Lings that could have been drones. Able to force 2 spine crawlers out. That's a 100 mineral investment and a drone investment. So, the cannon rush didn't go as well as Nipson planned, but he's definitely not out of this game.
Yeah, it didn't kill the hatchery, but there is a lot of links forced, so now MC has the worker advantage, so he's able to take, he's going to be a little bit ahead actually now from that. He's going to make up, hopefully, for that mineral loss early on by having a stronger economy in this later game. We see a hatchery, actually a fast third now coming down for CrazyMoving in that fourth base location. Of course, those destructible rocks not taken out quite yet. It looks like MC might have got a probe into the base of CrazyMoving, trying to scout out what is happening there. 2 extra gases being added on now for CrazyMoving. A couple more probes actually being sent out here, so MC really wants to find out, and MC is going to elect to go the Stargate tech route here, moving up to actually a relatively fast 4 gas.
Yeah, this is interesting. I would, he's going to scout this hatch at the bottom left, probably going to rally his Stargate directly there and going to chrono boost the heck out of that Void Ray. Again, the tough part about having this hatchery way far away from your natural expansion, you can't really reinforce with Queens. I mean, they have to walk all the way across the middle of the map to defend against the Void Rays.
Yes.
But how are they going to do that? But Evolution Chamber is on the way for CrazyMoving, so maybe able to put down some Spore Claws here to defend against the Stargate aggression from MC.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty much the only way he's going to be able to defend that base. He does have a Queen making there right now. It should actually be up before the Void Ray does in fact get over there. And this Void Ray, if it does go over there, it'll probably go after one of the Overlords that's just sitting around in MC's base right now. And it looks like CrazyMoving is just going to saturate that third base. Meanwhile, we see 3 more gateways on the way, as well as +1 has been started. That Overlord's just chilling on that high ground there. He does have a couple, he doesn't have very high HP, but he's chilling. He's just healing up there. He's got like a bad back right now, and he's just like massaging now. He's like, oh yeah, just get my hit points back, and Void Ray comes in, cleans them up relatively fast there. So Spinecrawler repositioning himself, Spore Crawlers on the way in the base of CrazyMoving, just being prepared in case MC actually does not hit the third, instead goes for the main and natural expansions first. And actually, take a look here at the, yeah, he's throwing out a pylon. This could be for Warpins. He may choose to actually move the Void Ray up over near that ledge and warp in Zealots on the high ground, and then pressure the main base from there.
Yeah, it's a really good point. Usually Zerg players will have an Overlord here to look out for that, but that is not the case for CrazyMoving. Phoenix coming over here looking for any Overlords, warping in 3 Zealots immediately. This is super cool play from MC. 10 drones in production, no attacking units really on the field for the Zerg player, barring 6 Zerglings, and MC is just going to start collecting units here, and he's going to hit the main base of CrazyMoving. Brilliant play from MC, and this could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's just waiting right now, just slowly waiting, gathering up units, because if he revealed them too early, he might not do as much damage, but now he has a handful of Zealots moving over towards the main base here. What is the response from CrazyMoving? He has to evacuate drones immediately, puts them over to 1 mineral patch, and yes, he's going to evacuate now. With only Spore Crawlers here, they're not going to be able to defend against ground units such as Zealots themselves. 10 Zerglings on the way, as well as 2 more Roaches. Phoenixes pick up 1 of the Queens here, and it looks like there's not too much damage being done, actually, by these Zealots. Drones getting around on the rest of these Zealots, now backing out. And it looks like Zealots are doing a lot of work now. Drones fighting Zealots is not the ideal situation you want to be in as a Zerg player. More air reinforcements coming in now for MC. Roaches do in fact pop, but there's such a high amount of Zealots right now. 2 Roaches is not going to be enough to defend against this push from MC, and MC looks like he's going to be target firing that spawning pool for the time being.
Wow. This is a great strategy here from MC. He could win this game right now. Targeting the Roach Horde, probably should target down the layer. CrazyMoving has a Hydrolist in production.
Oh my goodness.
Roaches in production, but it's not going to be enough to deal with this composition from MC because of that charge. Void Ray is going to do so much damage to those Roaches. And MC up 108 to 74 supply, sending Phoenixes after Overlords everywhere. Supply blocking CrazyMoving ridiculously. 74 out of 44. He has to rebuild Overlords. Doesn't have too much money though. He can't even make Hydras, even though his Hydra Den is done. 3 Overlords on the way, but I have a feeling they're just going to die once they pop. MC in great shape here. Yeah,
it looks like actually CrazyMoving is taking out that pylon near that 4th base, but right now, it's just a little bit too late for him. Phoenix is actually picking it up and saves the pylon, so MC is going to be able to continually reinforce this push here. He's done an incredible amount of damage, keeping, catching CrazyMoving with the, not realizing CrazyMoving just not having that Overlord there. may have actually even cost them this game. MC's going to continue pushing forward. There's a lot of Spore Crawlers deterring the air movements here, and it looks like those Zealots will continue forward, but with the amount of roaches that CrazyMoving has, he should be... No, actually, looks like the Zealots will prevail with CrazyMoving not microwaving the one lone roach. Hydras do pop out, though, and that's going to be the end of MC's very, very successful push, and he's expanding behind this. MC looking in a phenomenal position right now.
Yeah, behind all of this aggression, MC continually making probes up to 64, adding on a third base, adding on a robotics bay, going to go into Colossi production pretty soon, and that's important because guess who just made a bunch of Hydras to defend against the airplay? Well, CrazyMoving did. Who else would? And Colossi pretty darn good against those Hydras. CrazyMoving pretty much has to push now and has to hope something drastic happens.
Yeah.
Because MC is so far ahead in this game, up 128 to 92 supply. The production, the tech of CrazyMoving is reset, rebuilding that spawning pool. Still has to remake the layer. Still has to rebuild his Roach Warren. MC in phenomenal shape here, going up to 3 bases, full saturation, 6 gases, getting Colossi out, getting Stalkers out, adding 4 gateways. It's only a matter of time until MC decides to push and crush CrazyMoving.
Once this Colossus count gets out of control, there's going to be really no good answer for CrazyMoving. He can't build a Spire right now, like you mentioned, because he doesn't have a lair. There's no lair. You can't build a Spire, so you can't build Corruptors in response to this. And Phoenixes are going to town, even though there's one Spore Crawler. MC doesn't care. He's like, I'm just going to kill your Overlords and continually make you and force you to make more and more Overlords with your larva instead of making offensive attacking units. And actually, this main base now, which it doesn't look like a main base, it just looks like a regular old expansion, is left bare because there's no Spore Crawlers. They were all killed off with that initial attack from MC. So the drones are very, very vulnerable. And right now, MC's keeping CrazyMoving in his base. And MC's up 3 bases right now at 73 to 57 supply. He's in such a phenomenal position. CrazyMoving just had to hope that MC makes a huge, huge blunder and isn't really paying attention to his keyboard, because as this Colossus count, like I said earlier, starts to roll, it's going to be a snowball effect here, and it's going to get out of control. It ain't going to be pretty.
Yeah, I'm wondering, MC's just messing around. He's putting down a fleet beacon. He's just having some fun, which is fine.
Fleet beacon.
MC, in MC's mind, he's won. In most people's minds, MC is one, except probably fans of CrazyMoving. But honestly, what does CrazyMoving really do from here? There's nothing he can do. This game is pretty much over. I hate to be that guy.
Yeah.
But MC just having some fun here, making the fleet beacon. Will it be a mothership or carriers? We'll have to wait and see.
And again, here we go. We see another warping of Zealots. Unfortunately, CrazyMoving was not able to take down that pylon earlier on. Zealots are going to go after drones, and at this point, you cannot be losing drones. He needs that income. Spire is on the way, but no doubt, I'm expecting MC to push relatively soon here. He probably would hit the 3rd. That's very, very vulnerable. The creep spread isn't quite all the way out there right now, and Hydras are very, very slow. And here comes the mothership, and you know what? MC's just going to expand to his 4th base right now. He's not going to be too worried. It looks like he was going to try and take down that pylon with this amount of Zealots. Those Zerglings will not be able to engage. +3 attack is on the way. And MC playing in a dominant fashion there. Great strategy, taking advantage of the lack of vision by CrazyMoving into that base there. You've got to have vision of your entire main base as both races. You got to be wary of Nidus Worms. That's what I was thinking of, Nidus Worms. I consider Nidus Worms to be like very, very, very Zerg. And of course, proxy pylons, which is what MC utilized there with that warp in technology. I don't know what, there's really not much else to say, man. There's 17 Mutalisks on the way, but they're not very good in a straight up fight. And so, you know, heavy Blink Stalker. There's so many Blink Stalkers already out on the map for MC. He's at 191 supply. He's just going to max. He's going to push out once this, well, he's already pushing out right now, but that mothership's going to be out. She's going to be gaining up energy. MC has a fantastic economy rolling on. And he's going to move up to the natural expansion. And these mutas are not good up in a straight-up engagement. MC actually blinks forward. Looks like he may have gotten a couple Mutalisk kills. And MC laying waste to the base of CrazyMoving. Yep.
I guess CrazyMoving going to try to go for a base trade of sorts, but the Zerglings can't really see anything because everything is visible because of the mothership. And MC going to demolish the natural expansion of CrazyMoving. Going to demolish the main. Hydra's coming in, trying to target fire down that mothership. The mothership might go down, so there might be a small victory unless there's a mass recall, but it doesn't have enough energy for that. So the mothership will fall. And, you know, that's all the Zerg can really do is go for a base trade, but MC has this base up here,
Yeah.
has a billion
Tons of cannons.
has his entire army, demolishing the main base of CrazyMoving. Yeah, there's really not much to say, as you said. This game has been over for a long time, but MC just having a little bit of fun, making some Archons. CrazyMoving not going to quit, of course. Why would you quit in a tournament like MLG and pool play? Every game is so important, and it looks like MC will advance to 2 and 3 in his group. CrazyMoving will fall to 1 and 2 as soon as this game concludes. But you know, CrazyMoving trying desperately to somehow, some way take this game.
Yeah, CrazyMoving, he's showing good games though. He just got just a little mistake like that, not catching that one proxy pylon, cost him the game unfortunately. And as MC moves over to that third base, that's where the layer is, that's where that spire is. And you know, CrazyMoving's desperately trying to remake hatches right now. He has a lot of money, but he's not gonna have a lot of drones after this. Let's just say that. And like we said, you know, in the top right expansion there of MC, he still has a whole bunch of cannons. Where are those? Actually, where are the Archons? I'm not sure where they actually just disbanded. They actually, oh, they're joining up into the main base. They're going to take out the rest of these Hydralisks now. And it's basically going to come down to only Mutalisks for CrazyMoving, as the Hydra count has been effectively eliminated. CrazyMoving calls the GG. And MC will take that series 2-1 there after losing that first game to CrazyMoving.
Really cool strategy from MC. You know, that cannon aggression didn't go as well as he planned, but he was still in a decent situation after it. And then the geniosity, I don't know what to call it, putting the pylon below the high ground in the main base of his opponent. Zerg players have to have an overload there. You got to put an overload to make sure that doesn't happen. Warping in a bunch of units up there, and then honestly, once he lost that layer, once he lost the spawning pool, the Roach Warren, all those overlords, there's really not much you can do from there. And MC showing that he is not going to quit in this tournament, even though he's 1 and 3. He's now 2 and 3. Was that his last?
That would be his last match, I believe, of pool play.
That's his last match of pool play. So MC going to finish Pool A at 2 and 3.
A surprising result, I'd say, to most. But you know, that does get him. That win is still big for him. It does get him ahead, probably another round. Not so bad though. I mean, MC did play very. He took that last game pretty convincingly. That's all I gotta say, man. MC, still very solid player.
Yeah, and you know, the lower part of this group is still pretty close. So MC could theoretically find himself being second, third, or fourth if some crazy things happen. Probably not second, so he's probably going to look at third, fourth, or fifth. But that being said, that's going to do it for MC versus CrazyMoving. Hope you enjoyed it. This is the 2012 MLG Winter Championships in Columbus, Ohio. He's Silence. My name is Axel, and we'll be back with another matchup in just a bit.